last week I was at a diner with somebody that I knew, and we were talking, and we got on the topic of addiction. And, this person, which will remain nameless, but somebody I'm very close with, was like, oh, I don't get why people just can't kick the drug habits or whatever. I used to be a smoker and I just stopped cold turkey. I don't see how it's a disease. So what's up, everybody watching Wellness Week Live? I am your host, DJ Tony. I'm not a DR, I'm a DJ, so always check with the healthcare professionals. We're just two friends having a conversation. And my resident PhD, Magnus from Cali. I'm Jersey. Believe it or not, we're not in the same room. Magnus, how you doing, buddy?
I am good. Like I told you offline, we've been having unusually cold nights. So
Cali,
people, but I gotta tell you, it's so funny to see how Cali people like tackles cold. I'm going soft too. I was like the other day, I was like, oh yeah, I need to pull my jacket up a little bit more. But it was actually windy. But like, it's funny to see people coming in with like puffy jackets and things like that, and then like 3 hours later, it's like 70 degrees outside.
Yeah, I'll tell you, living in Jersey, we can take anything. We have 103-degree days and we have -3-degree days, throughout the year. So, but yeah. SoCal, that you guys are getting a little bit pampered out there, dude.
Yeah, for sure.
So let's talk about this. So, like I was alluding to in the beginning of the intro to the show, that again, I was talking to somebody who's close to me, and he was like, "Yeah, I don't know why, but we got on the topic of addiction." And ladies and gentlemen, that's today's show, addiction and why do doctors love prescribing pills? But first, addiction. So, we all know, excuse me, we all know people who have, died from addiction, suffer from addiction. Maybe you watching, maybe you're struggling with addiction. But yeah, so the person I was talking to, he's like, oh, I don't know why it's a disease. Like people could stop if they want to stop. And, part of me had to like catch myself. And I used to think like that too. I used to think like, oh, it's just an excuse. They're talking shit. People are addicted because they're lazy. They want to be addicted. Oh, bullshit. But then I've lost a lot of people in my life because of addiction. Yeah. And then you go through some shit and then you're like, oh, I see. It's not so simple. It's not something that's it's not a choice. It might be a choice to start a drug, but then once the drug has you, then you're either someone that's going to be an addicted personality or you're not. And I would say this in short, I think that, and you probably, I don't know what you think, Magnus, but I was telling this person, I said, look, addiction, it's a type of disease. Yes, it's not disease like cancer or, rheumatoid arthritis or meningitis or, other diseases. It's not, like that. But it is a type of disease. And maybe more accurately, I would say, I mean, if you look at the definition for addiction in the library, so to speak, or dictionary, addiction is a treatable chronic medical disease involving complex interactions among brain circuitries, genetics, the environment, and individuals' life experiences. But so,
can I jump in there?
Go ahead, dude.
Just like, how many things did they kind of like write down there? It's basically your whole life they're talking about. We're talking about genetics, social experiences, life. It's crazy to say that it's like, oh, it's an easy curable disease. Oh, go and pray or whatever people saying. I mean, it's such a complex disease.
Right. So here's the thing that got me though about this person. Okay. And this is the thing that kind of pisses me off about people who think that addiction is not a type of disease or disorder, probably more accurately. It's a problem. It's not a problem. It's not so easy choice. It's not like, oh, I want to have fish instead of chicken today. It's not like that. Addiction is almost demonic in its power. But, and again, because I've lost a very, very close person in my family to this and many, many friends over the years, So, but the person saying this, and then people who say this, like the person I was talking to, oh, come on, that's a cop-out. You can stop if you want to stop. You just got to have the willpower. Here's the irony, Magnus. The person saying this to me, because they said, I used to smoke and I just stopped in the dime. Okay, fine. And I wanted to say to this person, but I didn't. I wanted to say, then why are you overweight? because this person's overweight. Why are you obese? They're clinically obese. If things are so easy and you can just shut it off, because here's the thing, Magnus. I was looking at the stats. Type 2 diabetes, which is a choice, killed approximately 79,000 Americans last year. Okay, now
heroin, I think that's a low number. To be honest.
Yeah, it's probably right. I'm being kind. Right, it's probably 100,000. But diabetes 2, not 1, diabetes 2, killed about 79,000 people last year. Okay, heroin last year approximately killed 13,000 people. So diabetes killed 79,000. Heroin killed 13,000. Now, I make the argument, hey, type 2 diabetes, that's a type of addiction. You're addicted to what? You're addicted to food and drink and the wrong foods, sugar. Right. I wanted to tell this person, but you're addicted yourself, actually. And you're talking shit because you can't kick this addiction. Well, by the way, this type 2 diabetes that this person has wreaked havoc on this person's life. Okay. So I almost wanted to laugh in this person's face. I'm like, you got to be serious. Like, you're addicted right now. What are you talking about? Like, it was just so almost comical that they actually thought, like, it's so easy. If it's so easy, then you kick your shitty habits with your lifestyle. You kick the fact that you're addicted to sitting down a lot. You're addicted to pasta bread, chips, cake, cookies, ice cream and candy. Go ahead, kick it. Let's see how. So my point is, when anyone watching and hearing this says, like those people, them, like they're addicts. Hold on. Have you taken a look in the mirror of late? Okay, because you're probably an addicted person too. You probably have an addicted personality, and you probably are an addict. And the thing you're addicted to kills more than heroin, and that is pasta bread, cake, cookies, beer, or wine, soda, sweet drinks, juicy drinks, candy. So look in the mirror, and so have some compassion for people who are dying of heroin and coke and crack, because more people are dying of diabetes. But let's not talk about that. Go ahead, Magnus.
But don't you think that is kind of like protective mechanism that you're trying to point to say that one addiction is way worse than other?
Well, Magnus, I don't even think people see it like that, because the person
exactly right, because this addiction is drugs and whatnot to them,
right.
That's basically where they draw the line on addiction.
I don't think they're trying to protect themselves. I don't even think they realize, like, they're addicts too. And they're addicted to something that's far more dangerous than heroin, and they can't break it. So, I have compassion for people who can't put down the pasta and the bread and the cake and the cookies and the beer and the wine and the soda. But have some compassion for fucking somebody that's struggling trying to kick heroin. I mean, don't look at them like they're shit, because, like, you don't want to go there. Like, have you seen yourself lately? So, and again, I'm no fucking saint, and I have my own problems and demons, and we all do. But don't look down on addicts. And like I said, I'm not. And by the way, I'm not someone that does drugs. I never did a drug in my life. If you watch this show, I don't even drink. Never drank. I never been drunk or buzzed or anything. I don't do drugs. But, like, have some compassion, have some empathy, even if you don't understand. Because, like I said, look in the mirror. You're probably addicted to cookies, and I'm not bullshitting you. So go ahead, Magnus.
No, but it's the same thing. I mean, like I know that a lot of nutritionists and people that are in fitness and health, they're like, oh, well, you are the only person that is responsible for what you actually put in your mouth. Yes, that is true, because no one will come in and trying to save you. You have to start trying to save yourself. But taking that step of stopping something that you basically are addicted to, it's harder than a lot of people think.
Right. And if you have an addictive personality,
yes,
now, not for nothing, I'm very, very certain, and I'm not going to try this, but God forbid, for whatever crazy reason I were ever to do, and I've never done a drug in my life, but let's just pretend I, for some reason, wanted to try crack or coke or heroin. I'm fairly confident I can kick that very easily, because I don't have an addictive personality. I know me. I know my life. I'm very, very tenacious and disciplined across the board with anything and everything. So I'm not someone that I don't have an addictive personality. And I'm not saying, look at me, I'm great or I'm better, but my heart breaks for people who do have an addictive personality and they try whatever, pot or crack or coke or heroin, or they try, the latest batch of cookies, and they love that, and they try sitting, and they love sitting more than getting up and walk. I get it. My heart breaks, and you're addicted, and again, your lifestyle's killing more people than if you're a type 2 diabetic. you are an addict.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
No, but I think also like you're pointing it out. People, like the first step of saying that you have an addiction problem is actually accepting that you have an addiction.
Right.
And I think there's the biggest problem, like you're pointing out. People aren't even aware that they are an addict.
Right. And that goes for cocaine, heroin, or cookies and pasta and bread. It's the same mentality, right? I can kick it. No, you got a problem, bro. And if you even people who like to wind down every night with a glass of wine every single night, guess what? You're an addict. You are.
Yeah.
Period.
But looking at it, you can be addicted to so many things. Addicted
porn.
To gambling, addicted to porn, addicted
video games,
to internet, addicted to social media, addicted to buying expensive things,
shopping,
addicted to being shoplifting and things like that. So addiction comes in so many forms, and it's also kind of morphs. So even if you kick one addiction, you can easily fall into another, or you can actually have another take over. So when you see a lot that happens in fitness too,
right?
You have an addict, and then they start training, and then they become obsessed with just training because it is addictional behavior.
Right. And or someone that's religious, right? They're super religious. They read the Torah or the Bible or the Quran for 20 hours a day. They don't go out. Like, hello, that's you're an addict, and that's a hard one because it's like, but I love God. How dare you? Yeah, you're doing 20 hours of Bible reading, really? Like, you might be an addict. Just because it's not heroin, doesn't mean you can't be addicted. And so, to your point, because the person who told me this when we were having dinner about, I kicked cigarettes, and how come this person can't kick? I can't believe why it's not a disease. And to your point, I felt like saying, but I didn't say this because again, somebody that is older than me, I wanted to show some respect. I didn't say anything, but I said in my mind, I said, right, you kicked cigarettes, but you can't kick the food. You can't kick the shitty lifestyle. So to your point, right, you might win round one on something, but not round two on something else. It's very tricky, right? It's very insidious. But my point is, like, the way people look down on the quote unquote addicts, the heroin and coke. And I used to be that guy. I used to look at addicts like they were shit, and I think a lot of Americans still do, and a lot of people of the world still do. But then when you lose loved ones and you see this type of addiction, and again, being addicted to the wrong foods, that's a slow kill. Being addicted to heroin is a fast kill. It's a bad either way. But I see this and I'm just like, man, it breaks your heart. Like, it's like, I wish I could do something, and you can't. It's like you're watching this train wreck, and it's a demon, and it's just I don't know, dude. But
dealing with addiction, you basically see that it's basically turn your life and your beliefs upside down. Like you mentioned yourself, that you have completely changed once you were around it. Once someone is closer to you, that you change it, like, completely your mindset and how you see it.
Right. Well, right. So, like, the people that I've lost in my life, that have been close, right? Their addiction, really, I'm not joking. I mean, it was like demonic. It was very dangerous. Okay, but like, type 2 diabetes addiction, that's okay. That addiction's okay because that kills you really, really slow, and you don't go robbing banks. But nonetheless, you're rotting away and you're dying. I mean, but that's okay. But so one's acute and fast, the other one's slow and miserable. So they're both bad. But I get it. The drugs, the heroin, the crack, the coke, that garners more attention because it's so vicious, so dark, so bad, so quick. Totally get it. But meanwhile, type 2 diabetes addiction is killing more people, though. So it's like a boa constrictor, the type 2 diabetes. It's slow.
That's a good explanation to it.
And
it's slow, and it kind of creeps up on you.
Where the cocaine, crack, heroin addiction is a cobra, bam, and you're dead. But they're both bad. They're both snakes. They're both bad. Again, the type 2 diabetes addiction kills more, though. So anyway, so I guess my thing in that is just like, even if you don't understand, you don't think that addiction is a disease, I mean, try to be half an adult and have some fucking compassion, because again, you ain't the picture of perfect health. You watching this, and neither am I, neither is anyone. Okay, so have some really, pretend you're fucking compassionate. I
mean, you hear that a lot. You, like, from people say, "Oh, you got to pull yourself up by the bootstraps,"
Right.
well, you have never been in their shoes, so
Right.
you can't compare it.
Right.
So sometimes you're better off just being quiet and have your, if you have vicious thoughts, or like, just be quiet instead.
Right.
And
Yeah.
you don't need to like have an argument or disagreement. Like, keep that to yourself sometimes, and have a little bit more passion maybe.
Right. And by the way, people who talk this shit, I'm saying, oh, you can kick it, it's not a disease. I mean, I'm sure they're not bad people, but it's ignorant. You don't know. And it's again, you're okay, kick your eating habit, then lose that gut. Okay, then get back to me. You're talking shit. You're talking so easy. If it's so easy, hey, lose the gut. Because you want to be miserable and die of type 2 diabetes. No, you don't. So don't be so quick to talk. But anyways, so okay, let's move on. Talking about pills. So okay, the second topic. Doctors and their lust for pills and prescriptions of pills. Now, look, we love our doctors. Yeah, I'm not saying anything. I go to my doctor, my yearly physical, have my colonoscopy. Doctors are great. We love them. But doctors are way too quick to pills. I have so many friends that, high blood pressure, cholesterol, and they're on pills. And I know the answer to this, rhetorical. Has your doctor spoken to you more than 1 second about your lifestyle? The answer is no. They just go, moderation, eat healthy, and work out. Anyways, pills. Here's why, folks. This is why doctors, you can't even be angry at the doctors. And by the way, sometimes you need pills. I get it. God bless pills. But I would say more often than not, you don't need pills if you have stuff like high blood pressure, high cholesterol, or you have aches and pains and inflammation. You're like, it's what you're eating in your lifestyle. But again, the doctors, they're quick to write the script for a pill. They never write a script or give a suggestion or recommend a nutritionist or dietitian or a trainer. Funny how they don't have those numbers. But here's why. And you know this, Magnus. Doctors aren't evil. They're not bad. They just don't know. We look at doctors like they're Jesus Christ. Like, they know everything. No. I was looking at the numbers, Magnus. When a doctor goes to medical school, which is 4 years of medical school, they get less than 20 hours of nutritional training. Wow. And hold on, I want to tell you this.
That's on average. So you actually have some educations that have zero. Nothing.
Right. So no wonder you can't blame these poor doctors. They're ignorant. They don't know. They've been trained in pills. Yes. And by the way, I'm not going to mention names, but there are major medical schools that are owned, literally owned, not figuratively, that are owned with the name on the medical school by pharmaceutical companies. I wonder, is that pharmaceutical? I wonder what medical school is going to do there. Like, of course they're going to be like, write scripts for pills. No shit, because it says on the medical school's building the name of the big pharma, blank medical school. Like, duh. What do you? I wonder how they're going to train their doctors. It's like, so you can't even be angry at these doctors. They don't know any better. And 99.9% of doctors, have you seen them lately? Like, they're not exactly running a marathon. So it's, you got to advocate for yourself, people.
Looking at it, I'm not blaming the individual MDs. It's the system that is broken. Unfortunately, we are so like down a rabbit hole when it comes to solving issues with the quick fix. And to be honest, a lot of the pharmaceutical drugs that you receive are just masking problems. They're not solving the problems, right?
Of course, that you
continue actually having the issue instead of actually going to the source and stopping it there,
bro.
It's also like, we need to understand that prescribing a pill takes basically no time, and also a lot of, like, when we're looking at it, like, the United States of America is one of the few countries that you actually are allowed to have commercials about prescription drugs.
Right. Other countries, they're not allowed to have TV commercials, right?
Yeah, I think, again, we mentioned this before. I think there used to be at least 3 countries that there was: United States, New Zealand, and I think it's Argentina. Those are the 3 countries that you are allowed to have commercials about prescription drugs. The rest of the world, no.
Right.
So a lot of people see all these commercials. It's like, well, that sounds like me. I want that. So they are basically not leaving the doctor's office until they have that medication, or
Right.
they go to another doctor that will prescribe it to them. So it is a little bit, it's a little bit sad too that you're trying to push it so we're self-diagnosing ourselves and that we need these drugs,
Right.
which might not even need it. And like you said, maybe we need to start eating better and move more.
Yeah, listen, and my friend today talked to me. He's like, yeah, he's my age, he's 48, 49. He's like, I'm on the blood pressure meds, shit. He's like, it's just genetic. And I didn't want to get into it with him. I didn't say shit. I was like, okay, yeah, whatever. In the back of my mind, I'm like, bro, I know how you live. Don't give me that bullshit. Anyways, he alluded to it. He's like, but I like my cheeseburgers. Oh, there you go. And he's like, yeah, it's genetic though. My parents have it. I felt like saying, bro, I know your parents, they eat like shit too. And they like to sit. Like, it's not genetic unless you had your blood tested and they unraveled your goddamn helix and they found the friggin' little link. You're talking shit, folks. Like, it's not genetic. Listen, and it doesn't have to be this way. You deserve better, and these. So my friend's on this med for his blood pressure, and I'm just like, and shit. I can't even blame the doctors because the doctors are ignorant. They don't even know. I mean, and we think these doctors, like, they're Jesus Christ. Look, they know a lot, but they don't know everything. And they certainly, most of them don't, 9 out of 10 of them don't know anything about nutrition. They know pills, and so if my friend got off the cheeseburgers, like he alluded to, and got up off his ass, like he alluded, he doesn't do that, he wouldn't need the blood pressure medication. But he takes the pills and then he can continue with his shitty lifestyle.
But that's another thing that people they don't want to change their lifestyle. They just want that quick fix, the pill or whatnot. The only problem is that one pill usually leads to many more pills.
100%.
And also, like, what we don't know, like, just looking at side effects, like, it's scary. Just like Advil or another painkiller or like, you can die. And I mean, there's more people dying from ulcers that are caused by pain medication than people know. I mean, there are thousands and thousands of people that are dying because of that.
Or you just look, or you're not dying, but it's like, oh, I'm having erectile dysfunction, or I'm having these continual whatever headaches, or
completely my skin is shitty. You're having a completely shitty life quality. Right. That's what it comes down to too. And it's the same thing. Like, eating all these pills. Like, how are you gonna enjoy life later on?
Right.
When you're getting older, like, you are gonna be a walking pharmaceuticals, and like, you're lucky if you're walking. You probably need to have help moving around. So you might be sitting in a wheelchair or whatever. So it's the same thing. Like, don't think that the problem still exists. If you're not trying to fix the source of the problem, it's still going to be there and it's still going to wreak havoc, even if you're kind of removing the symptoms, but the problem is still there.
Well, that goes back to the addiction. People are addicted to shit food so badly, Magnus. A friend of mine, I did a whole show on this last week. My friend, and I didn't have an argument for him, actually. He kind of beat me. He said, Anthony, I'm on the pills for my cholesterol, my blood pressure. Another friend of mine. He's like, but I can continue to eat the hamburgers and hot dogs and drink beer and stuff. And he goes like, what's the problem there? And I really didn't have a retort for him. I was like, well, I mean, you got, and you know what? He's okay with it. He doesn't want to run a marathon. He doesn't want to get up off the couch. He wants to just work from his desk, and he works and he pays his bills and he sits and eats, and that's his life and that's his choice. And I'm like, all right, I guess, I can't really say anything against that, because again, he's not looking to improve his sex life with his wife. He's not looking to, run a marathon. He's not looking to get out with the kids and run around. And I was just like, wow, I guess you're winning, bro. Yeah. And he'll just take a pill for the pill, another pill to cover that pill. And that's most of America. As long as they can keep on eating and drinking. And I don't have a retort to that. I'm like, if that's your idea of a winning life, then yeah, you won. I can't say anything against that. I mean, I don't know. That's not my life. I want to get out and run around and be, in motion and stuff like that. But a lot of people don't.
Yeah, but to be honest, I think, like, and this might sting to some people, I think that mindset is pretty darn egocentric too, because first of all, you're probably going to rob a lot of quality time if you have kids or family. So that goes down the drain. And then also, like, you are putting pressure on society. You know, we're talking about healthcare.
They
We're
don't give a
talking
shit.
about, yeah, no, but exactly. That's why I said it's a little bit of an egocentric mindset.
Of course.
But I mean, if that's the way you want to, I mean, like, again, I'm not gonna try to change you. I mean, you need to, like, if people wants to change, it needs to come from the inside of them, that they want to change. And trying to talk someone into, it's the same thing with addiction. If I try to tell you to stop whatever things your addiction you have, and you're not ready for that, you know, you're not gonna care. You're gonna continue doing your addiction and whatnot, you know, until you actually register, I have a problem, I need to change.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. I mean, and most, unfortunately, you know, millions of people just die, and that's it. And, you know, that's life. Life don't give a shit.
Yeah.
But yeah, man. So that's all I gotta say. But anyways, we're all trying our best, folks. You know, and nothing's perfect, but you know, you deserve better. Like I always say, our bodies are Ferraris. You got to put premium fuel in it. You deserve a healthier, happier life, not this life of, you know, you're sitting, you're eating and sitting and eating. I mean, I don't know. If you think that's life, that's cool. You do you. But anyways, Magnus, anything else before we wrap up? Do you want to add?
No, I mean, again, it's like this is, both of these things are very, very complicated questions. They might sound easy, and, like, again, we sit here and talk. It's hard finding a solution. I mean, if we had a solution, we will be multi-billionaires or in no time. So anyway, again, guys, like, subscribe, ask questions. We love to hear more from you. And again, if someone wants to be come in and be a third guest coming in and talk with the two of us, feel free, reach out to us.
That's right. That's right. We got to do a nationwide search, right? We have to tryouts,
Yeah,
readings to be a guest. But anyways, yeah, everybody, thank you very much, Magnus. Thank you as always. Enjoy the cold weather there in Cali, Magnus.
See, I'm wearing my cap,
bro. And it's hot here in Jersey. All right, everybody, I'm out of here. Ready?
Bye,
5.
guys.
Thank you, Magnus. 5, 4.